And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it up close to the 35, but hang on here. Penalty marker down. And this one might be going the other way. So that will push him back.
And now we know why he had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back. That penalty will move them back.
They go play action here on first down. And right away, he lost the football. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll look to throw here. And the third down pass falls incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. First carry down. This is Johnson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. David Johnson on his way. Touchdown, Houston. David Johnson, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a run with Cook, and he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Now let's go!
Back to throw here. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
3 down, 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down, 3 down.
He'll look to throw. And he's ready for Diggs. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. First grab so far for Diggs. It's a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a play fake here on first down. Steps away. Now he's going to throw deep. Back up. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down to score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56. We got to get the ball. Black 99, feel it.
On second down, Johnson. And an alley to run. He finds an opening past the 40. David Johnson on his way. Touchdown, Houston. David Johnson with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And now out comes Minnesota. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And at the end of it, he's stripped. Ball comes loose. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule. Where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Second and goal from inside the 5. They come out here in the eye. He's going to get it running right. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal.
I'm coming.
They'll run him now out of the gun. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You want that?
Can this defense hold him out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. Running for it. Here's Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play call,
heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They pitch it out to Johnson. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the 1st quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Back to throw, Watson, looking left side and completing it to Thomas. Chewing up big yardage, another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the 1st quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Underneath for Johnson. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. On 1st and 10, Watson. Screenplay, Johnson. And they'll get him down here at the 23. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you can take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down. On 1st down, it's Watson. It's a loss of 8 there on the 1st down play. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. After the run, Watson going to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. How did he stay on his feet? And he's free going down that side. It's a foot race. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Well, it was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 16. They begin the drive with Johnson. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll try to run for it. Here's Johnson. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
And over the middle, this is Parker. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On the ground, it's Cook. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Tim Williams makes the tackle.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. Buying time to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Aaron Lynch in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. This officially a 55-yard attempt. After the missed kick, they're in really good position. They'll begin this drive at the 39 now. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Setting up the receiver screen here to Thomas. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Richmond.
Out of the gun, Watson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown.
Pardon me, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now out comes Houston. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this run.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. Listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, here's Watson. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Watson on the sneak, and he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. 1st down. Now this time he'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. A good pick up there at 20 yards.
They all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. From the gun, here's Watson. Oh, he's able to out-muscle him here as he pulls it in. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Making the stop there, Daniil Hunter.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a handoff, Johnson. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. Off of play action, it's Watson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Kiki QT, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. A little 3-6. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position. They start the drive with Cook. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A big play there out of Cook. 64 yards on the ground. And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined. No one touched him at all. A free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there. First down, here's the run with Cook. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis
Watch it
after
now, Marty,
this.
Marty. Hey, hot. Hot.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
He'll get it up the middle. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous.
And he'll get him. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And they got the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's taken to the 26. Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. On the NFL scoreboard, an update from Foxborough. And the Steelers, they're out to an early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. But just 18 seconds remain till halftime as they come up on 1st and 10.
Green 39. Green 39.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No. Check. Patriot.
And indeed, that's what they'll do is they'll run it here. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
A gain of 3, second down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. He'll look to throw. Open man is Uzama. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. That went into the hands of Thielen, complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
On the carry, it's Cook. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Flushed out right. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. They'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Tiger.
To throw is Watson. To throw on second down. Flush to his right. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And he's got some space here. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Well, should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you've got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 30.
Looking to throw. He fights, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Tyler Davison able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And now out comes Houston. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, man, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there at 22. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. Faking the give. Now Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephen Weatherly in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you give 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice.
And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Watson, off play action. Catch here, left side, Thomas. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. A shotgun snap for Watson. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. He got 29 yards that time. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They'll try to punch it in with Yeldon. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
After the run, Watson going to throw. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans cut into that lead. Bill O'Brien with a call here. We'll go for 2. Now Watson, operating from the gun. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out this way. Let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
They pitch it out to Cook, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a pickup of 6, and that is going to do it for this third quarter. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And some strong running. Keeps himself upright. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
You and I have been around teams, and they all have goals for games, don't they? And every team we've ever talked to says what?
No turnover.
Don't turn the ball over. 0. And they were that close to getting it done. Won't cost them today, but they'll hate that when they're watching the game tape.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. Room to run inside the 40. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. A big-time ramble there by Foreman. Give him 42 yards on the ground. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. The quick slant caught. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now Watson going to sneak it, and he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Texans get a bit closer. Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2. 2 points, but there is a marker down, so we'll have to see what that's about. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined it.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've got the 2-score lead. Look, though, they fumbled last possession, led to a touchdown. So while things look good here at this stage in the fourth, they got to be careful.
They definitely do, because they've actually brought them back into it, haven't they? They've given them hope once again. Their purpose on this drive.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Justin Reed. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. 2-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy, because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the 50, it's Watson. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent games, steady games. Don't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They run it again with Cook. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in, even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line. They've got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell them to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
Open man is stealing. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a first down as well. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here we go now! Blue 90!
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And now running right through it. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Again, it's Cook. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Back to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Again, this is Cook. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. The return of Cook, a big boost to this Viking offense. Here's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he's got this one down to the 10. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Handoff comes to Cook. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. And now a timeout taken here defensively with 2:07 remaining. So they'll also have the stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because
a breakaway from Michael Thomas. 20. Touchdown, Houston. Michael Thomas, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Texans draw a bit closer. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
But it was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up second and 10.
Blue 90! Blue 90!
A toss to Cook. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
And they, in fact, will throw it. And this is going to be incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
But you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
And here comes the Texans now. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go into this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80! Richmond, Richmond!
He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And he is across and in for the score. And now they can tie the game in the final stages with an extra point.
Or they can go for 2 and go for the win. The receivers have been running them ragged. Maybe some tired legs in the secondary, maybe some tired legs in the pass rush. Didn't get to him, and look what resulted. A touchdown, tie game. They've got a chance to take the lead.
A very important extra point there, up and good, and we may very well be headed to overtime. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Blake Martinez. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Right now, you know that the heart is pumping for Kaimi Fairbairn. This from long, very long range. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. And that changes everything here in OT. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They're set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. That last catch, a big one, folks. He's now gone over 300 yards receiving in this game. It is a game for the ages. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. They go to Johnson again, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off. But in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
From the gun on third, Watson. And that is incomplete. Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, fourth down this distance. You got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
And now out comes Minnesota. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Single. Watch him now, Barney.
2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, this is Parker. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A huge play there in overtime. And even 70 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They come out here in the aisle. They'll let the fullback try and take it home. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Minnesota, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Houston, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.